Hey, welcome back to Drive Time. I am your host, Craig Pasta Jardula, and we do it live, bringing you all the hot takes, headlines, and unfiltered opinions that matter most. Whether you're stuck in traffic, cruising to work, or just chilling at home, we want to hear from you. Today's topics are all about the big stories making waves, but we're not just here to talk at you. We want to hear your thoughts, your experiences, and your take on everything from the latest political debates to the everyday challenges we face. Remember, whether you're on the left, the right, or somewhere in between, we welcome all points of view. So grab that hands-free device, dial us up, and let's dive into the conversation. What's on your mind? It's Drive Time. Call in now.
Good morning, everybody. Why am I late? What's going on? Is that you, Andrew? Are you starting in so early that you have the reverb, the backdraft, whatever you call it? And
maybe. Let me switch my mic. Sorry. I apologize.
you're okay now. You lowered something. You did something. Guys, welcome to the show. It is Friday morning. This is Drive Time. It's your time. If you want to get involved, this is the platform for you. You get to speak your mind. We have a number. You can call on in, 561-247-2721. That's 561-247. Bernie Sanders Blackjack, 2721. I'm here, of course, on Friday with the co-host, Rasputin Jesus, a.k.a. Andrew Zigman is here. What's up, buddy?
Oh, just another wonderful 100-degree day here in Ohio.
Here, too. It's gross.
You know, it's really hot here, too, as well. But I'm looking out at the water, and I'm getting to go into the water. The water looks like the water behind me kind of right now. I don't see a lot of seaweed.
Yeah, the air here feels like soup. It's gross.
Yeah, it's muggy and hot, too, as well. I was a little warm when I woke up this morning. But look, since we're all hot, muggy.
Are they spraying clouds in the sky where you're at?
You know, I see it occasionally.
Because they were for a while, like when the Iran war started. This is something Jason Burmis noticed too, that they just like went fucking crazy. That it was like 3 or 4 times the amount of planes twice as often. And now with this heat wave, they've just stopped. Like I like it. You walk outside and there's no fucking fake clouds up there.
Yeah. A couple days ago they were out over here. So let's start the show with something fun. Tell me when to stop. This is a book right here, right? This is a book of love letters to the world, a little book of love letters. And Andrew is going to pick one. So, Andrew, you tell me when to stop. Okay. It says, you are amazing and strong and brave and wonderful. Remember that today. So that is the message for today, guys. You are all amazing and strong and brave and wonderful. Just remember that today. They're not all like that, but that's really, really nice. I think we need to remind ourselves. You like that one?
Yeah, it's quaint. You know, it's simple. It's nice.
Boys and girls, if you're listening, that's awesome. If you're watching, thank you so much. We're here on Rumble. We're here on YouTube. We're on Facebook. I just found out my friend Stevie D, his I don't know if he's listening, but he's got this Florida fishing friends. It only has 9,000 followers, but he's got some videos out there that are just hitting it up. And you want to talk about being amazing, strong, brave, and wonderful. So, of course, I'm going to brag about, you know, one of my as a young kid, one of my mentors of sorts, because Stevie D is that type of guy, just a great guy. He was one of the DJs, right? Most of the DJs here in Boca Raton, at least the ones I knew, Alley Boy, Stevie D, they're all Italian, right? So, because we are the white people who can dance. Let's not forget about that. So, you know, of course, you know, John Travolta back in the days there, Danny.
It's fucking true, though. It's true.
It is true. It is true. You know, like we're the Latins of Europe, right? I mean, I guess. I don't know. I mean, I like to think that people say, shut up, you're white, you're European, whatever. But he's doing these videos where he's just kind of like, you know, showing the love, pulling the shore, you know. A lot of fishermen, they can be like, what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? Don't come around here with a camera or whatever. But he's got a boat, and he goes and he just pulls near a dock or a beach. He's like, hey, man, my name's Stevie. You want to come on my boat and go fishing? Sometimes the people say no, but he'll catch somebody. You know, they jump on board, and they'll take that guy out. Like, let's go catch you dinner, and they'll film the whole experience. and he's got one of these videos popping up on Florida Fishing Friends. And like I said, only 9,000 followers, but the videos have got over 1 million. Some of them.
Damn.
I just got 2 of his smoked king fish dip, by the way, too, for the holiday. So he got some awesome fish. He had some grouper fried up yesterday when I went to go pick up my fish dip. So go check out his Facebook, Florida Fishing Friends, hip hop and marlin. What can I tell you?
Is that the first sip?
That's the first sip for y'all. Get your coffee. Get it going. Andrew, where's your coffee?
I mean, I went and bought one. I got a ear infection or some shit. I've been fighting for a week now, so I'm sorry if my energy's a little lower than normal.
Well, the smiles are still on target, so you still got the smiley face and whatnot. So that's all I care about. You're spreading joy and happiness.
I appreciate it.
We've had an interesting week, right? So, like when I first started the show, I think this is episode 30. Sleepy.
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
Yes. Okay. So we're like 5 weeks into it, right? Like, so so to start the show, I knew I wasn't going to be on the radio waves. I was going to have to, tell people, hey, do me a favor, call on in. Hey, do me a favor, call on in. And people did that. They participated. They helped. Even Stevie D, who from Florida Fishing Friends, called on in. He was the normie, right? Like he liked being a normie. But for the last 2 weeks, I haven't done that at all. And I've been just like, okay, we're putting it in the podcast God's hands and see what happens. But people have been calling. We've had new watchers. Every single day, we get a little bit more people than we had last time. Also, through the midst of it all, my other channel, the Convo Couch, which is now called The Truth Wire, and we'll be having a show later on today around 12:30, Fiorella and I. It got its monetization back after like 6 years.
Heck yeah. We were just talking about that
really
last week, I think, weren't we?
What's that?
I think we were just talking last week how you were like one of the only channels from that era that hadn't been monetized again.
From that group. Yeah. Well, there was a group of us, right? And some got their monetization back right away, like within 2 days. Some of them took 2 months. Some of them took 4 years, 5 years. I think Jason Burmish just got his monetization back.
Yeah, he got his about like 3 months ago, I think.
Yeah, he was demonetized way before us, right? I guess that's why I didn't cry as much. I kind of looked at it as a badge of honor because Jason Burmis does speak about things. If you don't know who Jason Burmis is, BERMAS, go look him up, guys. He's a fun person to watch. He did a lot of work on geoengineering back in the days. He did some great work on 9/11. And no. For you out there, hold on. I just want to say, and I'll hand it to you, Andrew. No, the Jews didn't do 9/11. Zionists maybe, but Jews, no. Sorry. Go ahead, James.
And he's super, like, I love Burmis, man. Without Burmis, I wouldn't be here for real. I remember it was like 2000.
He came on the vigil a lot of times, man. Shout out to Burmis.
2008, 2009, when Obama was running for president. I was introduced to Loose Change and Obama as like, he knows the truth. He's going to solve the problems, which was separate from what Burmis was saying. But the person who introduced me to Loose Change was the like Obama's fighting the deep state guy. For real, like that was my introduction really into politics, was like Obama's fighting the deep state. Watch this Loose Change video. We're going to fix the world.
Isn't it crazy that they to the left in this country, they presented Obama as the vehicle of change, right? The agent of change. You got change, you got hope. No more of this Wall Street bullshit. No more of this military industrial
complex. He was like Clinton. He had the gift of gab, dude. He could fucking sell ice to an Eskimo, man. Like that's
yes, but he presented himself like an outsider, right? Governor Clinton, Arkansas, we knew his dirty hands and his dirty penis where it had been, but he didn't present himself as an outsider. Obama, tan suit, outsider. Here we go. We did it to the left. Now let's do it to the right. Yep. Outsider Trump. Same fucking script. Neither one of them changed the world. Both of them got in line. It's the status quo. And both of those people, Obama and Donald Trump, are why people need to wake the fuck up and realize that these motherfuckers, like George Carlin said, don't give a fuck about you. They don't care about you. They work for the same people. At this point, if you are still,
I don't even think they work for a person. They work for fucking green, dude. It's all about money, man. Like,
I don't know.
these
I think
assholes.
they do work for the ruling class. I think they were put there. You know,
Yeah,
there
but
is
what are
that
they ruling
question.
for? Money.
But
So
Sleepy, there is that question. Do they go
Obama
in
did
wanting to do stuff? Sorry, go ahead, Andrew.
Obama did a Nelson Mandela Day speech. I want to say it was in like 2016 or 2017
Mm-hmm.
about the new global aristocracy and how the world had changed under him to the point that basically he was like ushering in technocracy in South Africa in celebration of Nelson Mandela. And I just thought like that was one of the things that like has just always like sat in the back of my mind was Obama's speech on the new global aristocracy.
That guy could feed you a bowl of shit and you'd eat it. Like that was his
He
power.
was being honest there, you know, because
Yeah,
like no one wants to say like, hey, there's a new global ruling class, but someone like Obama can make it sound nice and quaint, and you're like, yeah, you know, new global aristocracy.
It makes me think of Donald Trump and his little cohorts, and you know, like it's day 2 with Larry Ellison. Which, by the way, we've been talking about flock cameras. I don't know if anybody's, you know, we're here with Andrew. I don't know how many garbage bags he's put up or whatnot. But
I
Donald
just want to put in Ellison's been evil for a long ass time.
Yeah,
just put that in there.
Oh, that's the thing. Candace Owens was running Oracle commercials up until like 6 months ago, right? Like, who is she working for, guys? Think about it. But I mean, Donald Trump with the same thing, right? He's ushering. We got to go into AI. We got to get into a generation, and you combine the AI with the tough on crime mentality that all the Republicans like. We got to do tough on crime, and now we got the whole fucking Larry Ellison. Everything's geo-fenced and mapped, and all the flock cameras are up everywhere. So, you know, speaking with a leftist person running as a Democrat in California, we're sitting there and we're talking, okay, she's not the establishment choice. The establishment hates her. She's been a thorn in their side running every single fucking year. She's made the runoff. It's a jungle primary, so you can have 2 Democrats. She's tried to run as a Green, no good. Run as a Democrat, get close. Unfortunately, you know, the system in California, people just down ballot all the time, vote. But we were talking about issues in which the left can actually build a bridge with the right. Tell me if I'm right here, Andrew and Sleepy. I said, well, there's 3 areas. I say flock cameras. Now, she's a Latino woman, a big advocate against getting rid of ICE. I said, talk about the flock cameras, right? Like, because they're using them. You know, the ICE has a contract with Palantir, right? That's the other part. Talk about Palantir and their contract with ICE. So therefore, you can get the attention of a lot of conservatives because the Republican that ran lost. He finished 3rd. She finished 2nd behind the establishment Democrat. So now there's like 30% of the vote just floating out there from Republican votes in her district in California. How do you get them? How do you talk about to the populace where you can come to common ground? Well, I put it down. Flock cameras, data centers, Palantir / ICE. 3 areas in which you can talk about these data centers as a leftist, and you have people who want global, they want some type of Green New Deal, whatnot, right? So you don't have to necessarily talk about implementing a Green New Deal, but with data centers, the right hates them because they're storing and mining all the data. The left hates them because of the water, how much water they waste and whatnot. So I said, there's a way you can talk about this. Good morning, and you can somehow get the populist involved. In other words, my advice to her was talk about the populist. See where you can get a lot of people to come around in common ground, even though the vote system is going to be rigged and stuff. If you guys have any initial thoughts or opinions about that, please, I'd love to hear.
I think the best way to bridge, like data centers is a big issue that brings everybody together in a community, independent of political persuasion, because no one wants them in their community. You know what I mean? Like we have our ideas on like the left and the right of like why they're bad. But at the end of the day, it's literally people in their city. They're like, I'm not letting this show up. Like I'm going to fight this to preserve my city for my kids. And I think the other thing is we have to turn the anti-ICE message into an anti-Patriot Act message, because ICE was created because of the Patriot Act, which created the Department of Homeland Security that ICE is under. So this was something I actually talked with like Paula Jean Swearingen and a bunch of other like progressives in the day about, was making the anti-immigration movement about ending the Patriot Act, because that also gets rid of ICE, right? Like that would be encompassed in the abolition of the Patriot Act.
Yeah.
But that's just really hard for people to like conceptualize for some reason, that like
Yeah.
this thing.
Yeah.
is
Could I
the
say something real
only
quick?
issue. Yeah.
I didn't mean to cut you off. Sleepy, did you have something to say, babe?
Nah, man, I'm with Andrew. The Patriot Act's got to go, and
All
I
right,
think
so
that's
I am too. I'm with
bipartisan
you
thing.
and Andrew. I'm with both of you guys. But here's the thing. That is a great idea because it kills several birds with one stone.
Right.
The Patriot Act also will curtail or at least stop, if we abolish it, I wouldn't say the allowment, the okaying, the permission to the gain of function testing. There is a clause in the Patriot Act that essentially allowed the military apparatus, the intelligence agencies, to go back to chemical weapons testing. It was inside that Patriot Act. It's very vague, right? But that's what they do. They put the vague. But if you kill the Patriot Act, you now can kill ICE and gain of function testing. I mean, you can in bioweapons testing. I mean, you can really, by slaying the Patriot Act, you can really do some damage.
I mean, less domestic spying, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, there's so many things. Yeah,
Well,
I mean,
the thing to
the
remember,
FISA
too-
courts, right? You'd fuck up the FISA courts too, Andrew, no?
Yeah. But in Trump's first term, he put Brett Kavanaugh in the Supreme Court. And Brett Kavanaugh was the person who wrote the still classified legal justification for the Patriot Act. You know what I mean? Do you remember that when, like, for one day, people talked about how Brett Kavanaugh basically wrote the legal justification for the Patriot Act that still exists, and then they were like, "We think he raped someone." Hold on, like, wait a minute, stop the presses. This is way bigger. Something happened in college that's completely unverifiable.
Yeah.
Like, do you remember that, like, horse and pony show?
I like beer, but I do kind of remember it. Well, let's see what the caller has to say, because we do have a caller, and this is a call-in show. And Andrew was getting some good subjects, because I was just going to talk about Donald Trump going, "We need the Patriot Act. We got a lot of bad guys." He didn't like it. He didn't like the Patriot Act when he wasn't in office, but when he got in office, he loved the Patriot Act. Caller, who are you, and where are you calling from?
This is Jay Johnson out of Connecticut. How you doing, brother?
Look at this guy.
How are you doing today, man?
Early bird Jay Johnson gets the
I'm
worm.
doing well, man. And it's good to see old school action for Assange, Andrew Zigman up here. Love it.
Thank you, buddy.
You like this new show, don't you, Jay?
I do, man. Love it to death. Love it to death.
You know, I got the show. It's because I ain't got time to get on the phone with people who want to call and talk. Jay's like, "Pasta, you got a minute?" And a minute for Jay Johnson is like, "You better have out 17 minutes, because he's gonna give you everything on point." You know those people you got to get out a pen and a piece of paper, take notes when they give you the phone call. Jay Johnson's one of them. So I'm like, I'm gonna just start a morning show where people can call in and we can do the work here, and then I ain't gotta write anything down. I can just play it back later because Jay Johnson's here, baby.
I'm flattered, man. You humble me. You humble me.
Well, I love you, brother. I always appreciate our conversations and our friendships over the years. That's what this thing has been to me. Like, you know, it's cool to do this stuff, get some recognition, whatever, get a few bucks here and there. Like the thought process about doing this, and it's still far away again, but doing this for a living, you know, it's kind of cool, right? Because I don't need to be a millionaire. I can be 100-year. But I did this thing because of my activism and whatnot, and the friendships I've built along the way. You know, you're on that special list of people from the get-go who are always there helping me expand my thought process and look at things a certain way. And I think you're amazing at that, Jay. So I'm very excited that you're the first phone call on a Friday. So please have at it. What do you got for us?
Thanks so much, man. All these things mean so much to me. I truly take it to heart as a proud Southerner.
No, you're.
So what I would say is I love.
Sorry,
I love
really
that
the Italians would say that Jay Johnson, he's a good seed. Go ahead, buddy.
Oh man, thanks so much, brother. What I was gonna say is I love the Patriot Act thing, and that's been on my mind for a while. But instead of killing it, what I'd love to see is a repeal. And the reason is because everything that is after the Patriot Act could be up for review and then revoked. And then I feel also, like, say, with this Tucker Marjorie Taylor Greene thing, if they were to kind of work with what I was talking about yesterday, Pasta, that I still want to talk to you about, then there could be a tremendous opportunity for not only a cross-pollination, but a pluralized growth. There's like a mass growth that would really onboard people and then get people's voices more involved. I think that there's a lot of opportunity for people if we could bolster First Amendment rights, then maybe we could leverage that so that people could demand, hey, look, we know that this is a quote-unquote constitutional republic. However, when this nation was founded, people had to ride in horses and buggies. So, yeah, we need a representative vote. But that's clearly been it's been perversed. So for people to be able to vote directly by phone or other methods of technology so that we could affirm on the record, hey, look, we want this vote. We're from here. This is what we want to vote for. And then Congress could take a tally of that. And then if their representative doesn't vote in that way, then, okay, it may be one thing, but at least it'll be on the record so that if we demand more laws based on that and consistencies, then we can maybe have more direct voting rights.
Well, first off, by the way, I'm looking outside and there's one of those, you ever see those like those surfboards that like they're like got an engine on it and they're kind of just going on the water? What do you call those things? Yeah, there's some dude out there just tearing it up on the beautiful, soft, beautiful Atlantic Ocean. So as Jay's speaking, that's what my view was. But let's get back to the first part of the question, which I have to ask. Is there a difference between when we say kill the bill or repeal it? Because it sounds to me that if you're saying if we repeal it, that means that we have to have further examination of everything that followed behind it, as opposed to just killing it and moving on with our business and letting everything in the wake of it still stand still. Is that the first part of the statement when you say we should repeal it?
That's my understanding, that it would infer that anything that came after it is basically backtracking.
Yeah. The other thing though.
Yeah, and so that I think that would be huge.
To repeal the Patriot Act, like not even that it would be easy to repeal it on paper, but let's say we win that fight, right? Like let's say we fucking all group together in the next 3 to 5 years, we get rid of the Patriot Act as you know, time passes. But the bigger problem is the institutions that have been built around it with like InQtel and public-private partnerships and the actual physical infrastructure, right? Yeah. Because like there's no UN group, like I don't even want the UN to come in, but like there's no UN group that like monitors government infrastructure for spying, right? They'll look at your nuclear weapons cache or like whatever uranium enrichment plants you want to show them, but none of them are like monitoring the NSA to make sure that they aren't in violation of the Patriot Act once it's repealed. Because the thing is, even before the Patriot Act, there were just flat out illegal political maneuvers happening to monitor and surveil everyone like within the AT&T network. Like most of us, at least here, like around me, I assume it's everywhere, but there's like old buildings that used to be the like phone switch booths where all the phone traffic would go into before it gets diverted out to whoever you're calling. Yeah. And that infrastructure literally had back doors for the government built into it. And at the time, it sounds absurd now, but they were collecting like 13 gigabytes per second, which was like this was in like dial-up days. So collecting 13 gigabytes of data a second was like the whole collection of the world at that point. And so I think
welcome to data centers. That's why they need those.
Yeah. Yep. Flock cameras and everything else. I mean, so just to reiterate real quickly, boys and girls on Drive Time, and I don't mean to cut you off, Andrew, but I want to get the audience up to speed because Jay Johnson just called on in. You know, he's an old school friend, activist, that sort of thing. And we were talking about ICE, and we were talking about a leftist candidate in California and things she can talk about on the populist to get conservatives, independents, and people to support her. And Andrew had mentioned that if we go and we tackle the Patriot Act, we abolish it. Later on, Jay came in and said, let's repeal it. if we get rid of that, we can get rid of ICE. And I mentioned we can get rid of gain of function testing, bioweapons testing, because that's also in the Patriot Act. And by doing so, we would get rid of ICE, we'd get rid of this testing. But Andrew's just mentioning right now, and correct me if I'm wrong, we'd have to then tackle the infrastructure that was built around this motherfucking thing, because there are security state spying companies, right, that write softwares, do whatever, that have been built around the Patriot Act. In other words, they built an industry on taking away your civil liberties and giving themselves more things to look at, store, and spy on. Is that where we're at in this conversation, Mr. Zygmunt?
Yeah, I'd love to hear what Jay thinks about that too.
Yes, Jay. So the industry's built around the Patriot Act. The industry's built on filming, watching, and listening to you, Mr. Jay Johnson.
Yeah, man. So I love these points, and they're very valid points. So remember yesterday I was talking about paralyzed action?
Vaguely.
Craig?
Vaguely.
Okay, so one of the things when I talked about a party that's moving forward and paralyzed in action is developing strategies for the future and for our sides. And part of that strategy, as we're pulling more people in and pluralizing these parties, would be, okay, well, that is a matter of record. Now, once we have this repealed, then we have it on record. And then anything taking place legally after that is now, if anyone or a branch of government is acting negatively or acting in a way that is violation of the repeal, they are now subject to those laws. So now there's a more opportunity for those whistleblower programs that come forward, and people can bolster that so that more whistleblowers can come forward and more protections for them and more recording of their activities. In addition to that, we can start working on what I was saying earlier about more direct voting, so that people have to be allowed to vote and get their votes on the record, so that if people are voting contrary to that, like you see C-SPAN and AOC has been talking about XYZ, but then she votes for this other thing that has nothing to do with it or counter to it, then they're like, okay, well, she's not voting in accordance with that. And as we can show these things to the people, they can vote more directly, and we can start working on a mechanism so that we can directly vote, directly voting into the Senate or Congress, or building a new mechanism for that.
Yeah.
I think there should be a lottery system, but that's a whole other.
By the way, I definitely will say that we're not even ready for standardized voting in person and whatnot and everything. So I'm not down for any type of internet voting just yet, because we don't even have a secure system in our
Oh, not
right
yet. Of course not.
I understand where you're coming from, but they would fix that fucking vote easily. And then, what people want, they would present the opposite. And that, it's different when it's very nefarious and it's a mental mind fuck. It's Jedi mind fucking when you tell a public that they as a group voted for something, right, when they didn't. Because now they're like, well, I believed in this, but if the people want it the opposite way, I guess I got to go along. You know what I'm saying? It really does. So, I mean, I know what you're saying, but that's another interesting conversation on itself. I know you're trying to get more representation for we the people to get our voices out there. But that is, and I don't mean to sidetrack the conversation, but I know what you're saying.
No. And you bring up very, very valid points. And to that, again, it's not just a quick fix. It's an entire infrastructure where we would have receipts. And so, like, if a person voted, you have a vote ticket, and it registers what you voted for, and then it's bilateral. So if there's let's say Freedom of Information, a FOIA request of the votes of this to come out, and 404 Media did an investigation and said, well, hey, look, all these people voted this way, and then what was reported on C-SPAN was this. That was a lie.
Voters. Yeah, but here's the thing. As a person who's gone and seen voting in other countries and whatnot, you have to book the voter. You could have no history of who they voted for at present where somebody else can grab it. You can't do it. It's just, you know what I'm saying?
I'm just saying there's one example, but I agree. I understand what you're saying.
Yeah. I mean, like,
I understand what you're saying.
Just countries and third world countries and stuff. And that's why when you go to Colombia, I wish I was in Colombia. Me and Fiorella would have caught where the cheating exactly came from and been able to pinpoint it because that system is made that way. But like when you go to vote in Nicaragua, Colombia, Honduras, whatnot, you go to a table, they're all the same ballots. You show your ID, they check you off. Everybody on the table from the different parties there. You take that plain ballot, you go behind the ballot box, you vote, you close it up, and you put it in the box. There's no name in it, no attached to it, no nothing. It goes in the box, and the voter is protected as well as the integrity of the vote because it's done in front of everybody. But I hear you. I don't see. I don't want to sidetrack the story because my coffee kicked in and whatnot. But I know what you're saying, though. I mean, I think the important point is that if you really took it to the people itself, they wouldn't want the spy state, the security state. They wouldn't want us overlooking us. And if we had a method or a mechanism in which we can push back and get these fucking psychopaths to stop peeking in on everything we do, you know what I'm saying? Like, forget about it. I mean, it'd be so much better, but we don't. And, you know,
what it'll probably come to is if you want privacy, you're probably going to have to just invest in that technology. Like you'll probably have to get one of those little white noise triangles from V for Vendetta, which actually exist that like interrupt the recordings of audio devices. You'll probably have to get the glasses with the fucking built-in like LEDs that are infrared that block facial recognition from cameras. Like that's in all reality, the world that we're looking at is people are going to have to use those methods to avoid these systems in the short term, at least.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because like the flock cameras exist. Like I've had to literally redo my route from my house to the gas station rather dramatically just to avoid them. You know what I mean? Like if I wake up in the morning and I'm not thinking, I literally have to turn around in someone's driveway at the end of my street and go a different direction just in case the flock cameras are there, like active. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And you know what most people do? Let's say they have half the spirit as Andrew. They're like, well, they got me anyways. There's nothing I can do, and they'll give in, right? There's most people who are like, well, you know, we need to have them. They're the criminals out there. I'm not doing anything wrong. So what for the flock cameras? They, you know.
My favorite psyop right now for that is when people are like, well, you already have a phone on you, so like, what's it matter if they point the camera at you?
Yeah.
I'm like, well, you can leave your phone at home. Right, like you can detach from this in a realistic fashion, which is why those things exist. You know what I mean? Because you like you
put it in one of those little safety bags, right? That cut off the.
Well, bag.
Yeah, I hear you. And that's a great argument. That's the reason why they do these things because they do exist.
Mm-hmm.
Jay, give us your put your little last cherry on top. We got to make sure there's no other callers in the queue and whatnot.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So on Andrew's last point, loved it. And to people that say nothing fear, nothing hide, like, okay, well, what's your PIN code to your ATM machine? Let me get the card real quick. You know, and the other one, I took your points on the voting, and bear in mind, so I understand exactly what you're saying, but just like what I was talking about yesterday about guerrilla ops, is that they have to see that we're smart and that we're pressing them. Something may not sustain, but if they see we're coming at them from all directions, what do? They throw everything against the wall until something sticks. So we have to pluralize, do the same, and keep the pressure on while we're devising ops that are more strategic than theirs.
But you know what else we got to
do?
Jay, we got to also build numbers. We got to build numbers because when they see multiple people at their press conferences, when they see multiple people at their hearings, at their city council, if they see a group of people together, they get a little bit more frightened than they would if it was just me or Jay Johnson or Andrew Ziegman up there. If there's numbers behind them, that's the thing that starts getting them what they call weak in the knees.
What do you think about the like Bolzarian guy from Florida getting behind the flock stuff as much as like people on our side getting behind it?
Well, the thing is you got to catch him in different areas, though, right? Dan Bilzerian and stuff. Ask him what he thinks about immigration all in all. Ask him what he thinks about any form of collectivism. There's areas, he'll get behind the flock camera thing now because he knows there's constitutionalists out there that don't like that stuff, and there's Republican. You can what's the word when you You control. You could kind of like siphon. You can grab. You can get a couple voters in the conservative world that don't like flock cameras. Right? There are conservatives out there that don't like it. So he knows there are people with his own element that don't like flock cameras. It's the other areas which he will expose himself. Where you'll see he's just a jerk off. The right wing movement is a fucking grift in this fucking country. Everybody wants to talk about, oh, you have to choose, pick a side, left or right. The left with their wokeism, blah, blah, blah. The right wing is always, they'll fucking piss and shit all over your constitutional rights in the name of being tough on crime. They always have their own fucking boogeyman. It's a fucking grift and it's bullshit. There's no principles. There's no standards with them. The left, they tell themselves lies and they really believe it. Yeah, man can have a baby. No, he can't. Stop telling yourself the lie. They believe their stupid fucking bullshit. But the right wing, they fucking they fold and capitulate on their principles just to play team sports. And that's the biggest difference between those two. One group is lying to themselves. The other one is lying to themselves, but no, they're lying to themselves. Jay, I'm sorry. Get on out of here. We love you. Give the crowd some last words.
All right, you guys take it easy, man. Love it. Keep doing good work, man.
Jay, you can always plug your social media stuff if you want people to go get involved, join, hang on out, have conversations. So you can always plug your shit when you come if you're doing anything, okay?
Donka, brother. Donka.
Love you, Jay Johnson.
Love you too, man.
Man, I got to get back out there to the cold weather, go see my boy out there. So I don't know if I met Jay Johnson in person in an event or something. But
on a note that we were just kind of talking with Jay about is like the political representation that comes from like ideological movements, right? And I would point to Elizabeth Warren for this because this is something that's like deeply personal to me. It's like the SOPA and PIPA era. I don't know if you remember that, like back during like Occupy and all that, where Aaron Swartz, I don't know if you know that name, basically built an entire social movement to protect internet privacy and to defeat like basically like the kids activists day.
All right, Snorky's calling in, by the way.
But Elizabeth Warren won electorally on the back of that movement. Yeah. Right. The SOPA, PIPA, privacy matters, no bailouts, the Occupy movement. Elizabeth Warren was basically the one piece of political representation that like we got from that Occupy, anti-SOPA, anti-PIPA.
Yeah. And now she's hanging out with Dick Blumenthal in Ukraine begging for fucking weapons. Guys, AOC ran on fucking Medicare for All and forced a vote. We were all there together smoking a joint, walking around the line. Remember in the back of the room? We were like in the back of the group when we were marching in near Congress. Andrew, yeah, I'm exposing you. Snorky, tell everybody who you are and where you're calling from, just so we can make it official that you're making your appearance here on Drive Time in the Morning on Friday, July 3rd at 8:44 a.m. Go ahead, buddy.
I'm out in Iowa underneath 5 inches of rain per hour warning.
It's not just this way, man.
And I just thought I'd bring in some stuff from the past because you guys know I'm old. Back in the 70s, our teachers would tell us we were using something before the internet called DARPANET. And we were always told that every single thing we typed would go directly into what was called back then the line eater. So everything that was communicated would be basically stored somewhere for possible review in the future. These days, I'm going to also go back a little ways again here, but not back that far. In the 70s, they were going to cancel the space shuttle project. And we typically think of just a few organizations as being in control of everything. There's really a whole ton of agencies. And when they were going to cancel the space shuttle, there was an organization called NROL, which is the launch organization for an organization called the NRO, which is a National Reconnaissance Organization, which is in charge of collecting as much data as they can get. And so what happened was the NRO said, well, we'll pay for the space shuttle, but you have to give us 25% of all the flights. And so that was the deal to get the space shuttle. So this organization, which hardly anybody's even heard of, everybody always hears of the CIA and stuff like that. But the NRO had enough money to go out and buy the space shuttle program. And I think they're way over 150 launches already. But launch number 39, NROL 39, I put a little note in there before. And their mission logo was "Nothing is beyond our reach," and it shows an octopus spreading out over the world. And the later ones coming out, they have one that's like a squirrel gathering all the nuts of information from all the entire world. But just if you just Google up the logo for NROL 39, you're just going to gasp.
No,
Yeah, they ain't even hiding it.
Like there was training manuals for like intelligence agencies leading up to 9/11 that showed fucking like the Twin Towers and crosshairs. But yeah, like this octopus is legit creepy. It's like the meme of the fucking like CIA, NSA, all that as their logo from back then. That's creepy, dude.
This isn't an organization that low.
Yeah. And like that's
That logo up.
so as someone with more knowledge of how actual like the inside of it works, how do we get rid of these other organizations, right? Because like we all hate, at least in part, the FBI, CIA, NSA, but like that's just the surface. Like so how do we address what these other groups do?
Well, I would say is if we keep them separate, we have a better chance of being able to regulate them. What keeps us from being able to regulate them is our complete lack of understanding that they're even there. I feel that probably, and again, I'm not knowledgeable in these areas. I'm a hardware person, not an operational person. But the organizations that we hear about probably aren't always the ones that are doing everything. Like we think, hey, all the information is coming from the CIA. No, there's organizations feeding that, and we have no written regulations on how they're going. If a senator or a representative wants to see it, they have to go to something called a SCIF. And they can't take a piece of paper in there or anything. They have to go in, look at what's there, and then walk out with only the knowledge that's in their head. And so those of us hardware people, we're really low level. So I'm at no level to be able to say what's going on. And I just think we really need to get more trustworthy people in office. And every day I see things like only one country in South America now is not controlled by an organization east of the Mediterranean. So, that's pretty bad news. And, but again, going into that. So the line eater is such an old phrase, like I said, from the 70s. And since I learned it in the 70s, it probably existed way before then. Oh, sorry?
You said it's Lang Eater? Is that what you said?
No, like LINE, like a straight line.
Oh,
the line eater.
Okay.
Back in the 70s, we didn't have monitors. We had teletypes, and we would teletype our information in, and it would be sent off somewhere else where there was a computer aggregating what we were doing. So the line eater was eating all the information from all the lines coming to it.
Okay, so that was like the early version of the data aggregator back then. Like the data center that was collecting, processing, and then whatever else after that, the information.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, so if that was the term we used, that might not have actually been the term that was used at the organizations that were aggregating the data. So sometimes we use different terminology, and we might never know what was in on that. I'm also sending, data centers, they do not have to use that much water. and they do not have to use their electricity so wastefully. I view that as unethical. I don't know anybody that is doing it ethically. So, I hope to get something out
don't
there.
understand. Like, I did heating and air conditioning for a while, right? Like, and I don't get why these data centers aren't just massive fucking walk-in freezers. Like, you don't even need water. Like, you literally, like, the only thing you need water for is to clean your coil.
No, you need water. So in the electronics, we in fact, even back in the 70s, I'm trying to remember the name of the computer. We would dip the computer directly in, Cray, and we would directly immerse the Crays in water, pure water, and when we wash our we're just used to the fact that we think of water as being a conductor. Water is a conductor when it has impurities in it. So when you're using extremely pure water, we don't have that one. And I will send you guys another picture later of my little data center that I have coming here. I'm putting together, and I'll have a 2-liter bottle in it. And you'll see how small the 2-liter bottle is compared to my computer.
And then didn't you call in once and say that the left could go after data centers because of the water usage they do use? Are you saying now they don't use a lot of water? I mean,
they are currently using water. They are currently using massive amounts of water. There are ways for you to reuse it. There are ways for us to reduce what's being used, but there are different costs to everything we have. In an operation where I'm doing something for profit, we'll do everything you can to save 5 cents. And so by putting in and using a recircular, that means we need to continually modify and upgrade what's going on. Whereas a lot of times, if I just dump it to the world and let the world absorb the heat loss and everything else like that, that's cheaper operational wise, but it's more of a cost environmentally. And
do you think you could use like literally just refrigerant pipes and condensers and evaporators to move the air and suck the heat out just with like an R22 system?
Nah, man, not in a data center. It's too much heat.
Well, if it was more like
to start off with, if we
had you guys are talking over each other. Good. Andrew, finish
if we think of it that way. Oh, sorry.
I was going to just let Andrew finish his thought. He was saying something.
Sure. No, go ahead. If we think of it that way, that's our issue. Is sometimes we're so close to the trees, we're not looking at what's going on. So we have this enormous amount of energy, and we're not trying to recover it at all. And we're just letting it vaporize to think of it as a cost. And I think I brought up before, in the old Soviet Union countries, they used to take the heat from their nuclear reactors and give it to the community. So they weren't trying to sell the heat. Here, if I sell the heat, I'm also probably impeding the sales of electricity, which is sold per watt, to other, and a lot of people that own the data centers also own utility stocks. So I'm impeding sale. I'm trying to go sell. Whereas in the factor, if I'm reusing the heat, I'm stopping somebody else's sale.
So with
go ahead,
water that's being used, because the water's obviously warmer, right? There's a city out here that has municipal steam as a service that they provide to businesses and homeowners with like old boiler pipes. Do you think something like that could be done with the water to like subsidize like the actual usage of it, to where you could turn the data centers
not only should be mandated, and of course we're talking the data centers now. Out here in Iowa, we have corn dryers, and we have processing stuff for dealing with the corn afterwards. We're pumping out a lot more electricity than the data centers use, and nobody's talking about that at all. And there are in the wintertime, you can't see towns because they're just covered in the steam from where they're quickly giving it off. Again, doesn't have to be given off, But if I provide steam to the city, I have to realize that I'm making so somebody can't sell them that much extra gas or electricity to heat their own at home.
Yeah. You know what that's reminding me of, and I said this too as well, these flock cameras that we've been talking about so much over here. Well, it's paid for by the city. They take it out of our budget. The police department, that's where our money comes from. It's the Joe taxpayer. Well, they're hooked to the internet everywhere, so they're all of the city flock cameras. So why aren't they giving us the municipal internet we're already paying for?
Yeah.
Because they're hooked up to
it'd be nice if we got,
and they use a little SIM card to connect to the tower automatically. It's basically like your phone, right? So they probably have, I don't know exactly how it works, right? But I know how like wireless technology kind of works.
Yeah.
So all that they're doing, the flock cameras are just using the same technology your phone does to just broadcast that via a 5G network. Because there's no underground cables with a flock camera. Like you cut a flock camera off and you're literally just chopping down an empty metal tube. Like you're not even stopping the system. Because I think they learned from the UK Blade Runners, right? That if there's a cord that runs through the middle, they sawzall it, they cut the cord, that's a bigger repair cost. If somebody cuts down a post for the flock cameras, all of the technology, including the electrical generation for it, is up at the top. There's no cord that runs to a central power grid or anything. It's that solar panel. So I think that's something they learned. It's literally a solar panel hooked up to the 5G network broadcasting a camera.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we'll
and some
technically,
people are chopping them down.
Internet, we can get it, right? Like it could be a backup system if we have the same antenna out there grabbing it. So go ahead, Snorky.
Some people are chopping it down just to grab the wire and go scrap the wire for some pennies.
Come on, tweakers, where you at? We got a flock problem.
Copper isn't pennies anymore. Copper gets real fast, real expensive, real fast. I'll let some more callers get in. I'll talk to you later. Thanks. Oh, and I will be sending you a file of my little.
Let's give a map to the tweakers. Where the tweakers?
Dude, I've been saying that shit for a long ass time. Like, tell all these tweakers how much copper and shit's in these things.
Oh yeah, I'll talk to you next week.
Snorky, thank you so much.
Thank you, buddy.
Snorky from Iowa, the professor. We have two resident professors on this show already.
Send these motherfuckers on a quest for copper.
That's crazy. That's it's so bad, Josh, but so funny.
Man, I'm from like Tweaker Central, like originally, so like I'm gonna joke about it till the end of
for me
time.
to hang a thing of crack on top of the fucking. So now you get the crack and the copper for taking it down.
I think would be fun, right, is to take a picture of the road that the camera is recording and then hang it up right in front of it, like really small, so that way the camera just keeps pointing at that picture. Like I think that would be fun. But like,
or take like a picture of something. You know how they put the picture in front of the camera itself? Like you
Yeah, that's what I mean. You have to take a picture down the road from the camera's point of view
and put it in front of the camera. Got it. Yeah. So it's just looking at the picture the whole time, and when they go check the flock cameras, everything looks okay.
Mm-hmm.
Why is the same car there all the time? You're too funny, guys. Guys, if you want to call in, 561-247-2721. That's 561-247-2721. I was sharing the videos to some friends out there, guys. I don't know where I'm at on the monetization. Well, I mean, the shadow banning algorithms and all that stuff. Johnny was telling me yesterday, I had dinner with my good friend Johnny Tsunami. He was telling me that he was getting notifications in the beginning, but he hasn't been getting notifications for the show as of late. So there's always fuckery they pull until we have an open source system and we can see what's going on. And I don't want to hear it's a private company. They get protection from the government. If they're getting protection from liability, right? If you don't have to be liable for your shit, if you're a vaccine or whatever, if you're a internet platform and you're getting protections for whatever reasons, you should be transparent, especially since the internet has become the public square. Do you not agree, Mr. Sigmund?
No, I think the worst part is all of this is built by government with government money, right? Like people like
our money,
like,
damn it.
Right. Like Google Google is literally funded by InQtel. DARPA gave Google the algorithms that it uses. You know what I mean? So all of these things are government agencies. They just act outside of the Constitution. Like, I don't see Google as separate from the federal government. Right?
No,
Like, I
the,
see
the,
them as a
they
part
just
of it.
the government outsources everything because that like shields them from liability themselves. It's shit.
Yeah.
But you know, when you watch those hearings, when they summons all the social media gurus down to, I haven't watched one in a while, but I used to watch them all the time in the beginning. That's when I found out for sure that AOC was so fake, right? Like she's at a hearing and she's going at Facebook or whatever. I think she was going after Zuckerberg or maybe it was Jack Dorsey. I don't know which one. But she pivots to like, you know, freedom, you know, fundamental rights and civil liberties to why aren't you censoring the Republicans more on this? Words are violence. They are Nazis. This is toxic. Why aren't you silencing them?
Do you remember Mark Zuckerberg's Joe Rogan interview after Donald Trump got elected the second time?
No, I
He
don't.
went from being like a blue
He
hair,
was
rah-rah,
pro-Trumpist, right?
LGBTQ, everything's cool, to like, as soon as Trump got elected, he was like, oh, no, man, like, well, I'm a bro now. So, like, they're just chameleons.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, they literally just wear the skin suit of whatever they have to say for who's ever in power.
Yeah.
And, like,
And they were doing exactly what the power was telling them to do. That's why I don't see a difference like you, Andrew. Like to me, Google is the government. YouTube is the government. They get protections from the government. And the worst thing that this administration has done is they have sunk the conversations about transparency and censorship online, right? Because the Twitter files that, you know, useful idiot Matt Taibbi went and fucking took screenshots of, no source information, was all about an operation of blaming leftists for silencing right-wingers.
I thought Elon Musk saved free speech, Pasta.
What's that?
I thought Elon Musk saved free speech.
Fuck, shut up.
Are you telling me that's not true?
Yeah. Well, it was all about Dan Bongino was getting silenced and all these other right-wing. So all these right-wingers now got their channels back, got lifted up in the algorithm. The birth of the right-wing idiot media guy like Benny Johnson and Nick Sorter. Now the space is so fucked up. Nobody's talking about censorship. But it is kind of interesting that YouTube has been letting back certain channels get their monetization and all that. I don't know why they're doing that, but it's they're acting right now with less eyes on them, less pushback. People don't even talk about. I mean, everybody's talking about Section 219 of the NDA, which is the merger of the Israeli government, the Israeli and the American militaries merging together. Which once again, they've been merged in at the hip for so long. This is just an official statement right now. I'm not any more mad today than I wasn't, you know, years ago when I knew they were working together. Every bomb dropped in Gaza is an American bomb. So, I mean, that it is. But nobody's paying attention to Section 220 of the NDAA, which states clearly that these platforms have to act as platforms. They can't pick winners or losers. And there's less eyes, less accountability, less oversight. And we are in a very bad position when it comes to the internet because they can now, instead of out there cutting our nuts off and taking our channels down, they give us our channels back, but they're shadow banning us and censoring us from beyond the wall because we still can't look and see what they're doing, and they get governmental protections.
Yep. No, that's the whole thing with new Twitter, right? That was the whole freedom of speech, but not freedom of reach. Like, we'll let you say the thing, but we're just not going to let anybody see that you say it. Yes. Which is the part of the whole flock conversation that like has me a little like thinking, right? Because like I can say anything about any topic and it gets like, you know, fucking like 3 people, right? 8 people at most respond to it. But you put something out about flock and it's like the Zohar Memdani meme. Like you just say his name and you get 10,000 likes. You know what I mean? So I feel like not that it's not people caring, but that they give us these specific things that we can like basically like a channel or a funnel, like that's it, that like this is your approved topic. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No,
because like I don't get Twitter notifications because like nobody responds on Twitter. But like the moment I put something up about flock, it's like, here's 10,000 people liking it, which is good. But at the same time, it's also on a platform that uses AI surveillance to try to do influence operations on people, right?
Yeah.
So like, I don't want people to go out and fucking catch felonies because Peter Thiel's company is running an influence operation to see who the Luddites are and who would be willing to engage in a Butlerian jihad.
That's a great word, Luddites. What
You know
is
what
the
I mean?
solution? What is the antidote for this and stuff? Is it an open source system that we can understand how voices are lifted and how some are suppressed? I mean, I don't get me wrong. If I saw, if you opened up and showed me how the sausage was made, I'm sure I'd be disappointed in what people pay attention to and what they listen to. Anyways, the majority of people, you know, because it's just upsetting to see the way the social engineers can put a carrot in front of the majority of public and they go running. You know, we're so emotionally motivated, you know, and reactionary. I get that, but I do also think that I think that they are lifting up. I think they are lifting up narratives that they want to push, and that's unorganic, and that's narrative media and pushing those things.
And there are people who have worked super hard to bring flock to people's attention in mass that aren't a part of the like panopticon, you know what I mean? That aren't part of the technocracy. So like DFlock like is basically a production of like the Independent Media Alliance. So I think that it's like a James Corbett affiliated movement essentially. And so I think that there's a lot to say positive about it, but to me, I'm worried that it's being that like it got built by people with good intentions to then be used by people with bad intentions. But I think the big thing is that people with bad intentions see the humanity as static, right? That like a person is a person and nothing changes about them over time in a significant fashion that can't be measured. And I don't think that they understand that resistance is a muscle. And that's why I personally like push so hard into the flock stuff right now. And it's not because like it's because we need to remove flock, right? But every person outside of yourself that you get to take an action is strengthening their muscle for resisting tyranny. And I think that's the more important thing out of it that isn't part of their like calculation is like, yes, cool. Here's an influence operation that reaches millions of people about deflocking. You know, maybe for the first time, 10 or 20,000 people or 2,000 or 200 go out and do this. But those people are then building that muscle of resistance that's necessary for whatever we fight next. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? Am I crazy?
I love the fact that you're saying, it makes a lot of sense, is that, you know, by deflocking, you're strengthening the muscle that fights tyranny.
Yeah, because it's like it needs to be an immune response from society, like that form of collectivism, right? Like to be like everyone on the same page of like, okay, this is bad, let's go and remove it, right? Because like what tells your white blood cells to go in and clear out an infection? It's just it's literally an autoimmune response. Your body automatically triggers it. And so I think that that's part of what the deflock movement's building and part of like what we contributed to with the Assange movement and even like Black Lives Matter is that muscle of resistance that we can build individually and collectively.
What is this?
It's a good question. It's a good question.
Scarrett, Scarrett, do I say it right? Secret Studios, Secret. Go ahead,
Secret Squirrel, man. Secret Squirrel.
Secret. Yes, the secret. By the way, Socialist Toke's coming in saying, what the flock is going on? I like the way the guy just rolls out of bed really late, comes on in here after his toke. Says, I'm late. Here I am. Put something up and it gets put right on the screen. Way to go, Socialist Tokes.
I like it. I don't mind if people show up.
What was that last question that was going on? Let's address. You want to address that?
What was that? I'm sorry.
So it's so. By the way, speaking of government subsidies, I'm still waiting on my checks from Big Pharma for all of the research from public funds. Also, shouldn't we get checks from Mickey Mac Corp since public is vested?
That's how Elon Musk became a trillionaire, or not a trillionaire, but became the richest man through COVID. Is he got the
billionaire?
Right? What do you mean? Subsidized the research, and then he built mobile vaccine labs and became the richest man on earth.
So what did he do? I know he built mobile vaccine labs.
Yeah. Well, that's how he made all of his money during COVID.
Yeah.
Like he went from like competing with the good boys club for the amount of money that you had to, okay, well, I will not him, but be the face of creating these mobile vaccine labs if you give me shares in the company.
Yep.
Right. So that was
remember
how
that.
he rose to buy Twitter.
He made a shit
then-
ton of money too.
Yeah.
So he
So,
was a
like,
vaccine
someone
salesman.
got that money, but it wasn't any of us.
Yay.
But
I mean,
so,
we pay for all this shit. Dude. We pay them to fuck us. It's crap.
I don't know. I don't pay taxes no more. You know,
Don't say it on air. Jesus
maybe
Christ.
sales tax. Well, I'm not employed.
Oh, I mean, that's different.
That's my dirty secret, right? You don't have to pay taxes if you don't have income.
It's true.
But so what's up with the Marjorie Taylor Greene Tucker Carlson political party thing? Because I saw a couple headlines and we had Jay mention it, but I haven't looked into it at all myself. It was just something I noticed yesterday.
That's news to me.
About that, Pasta?
Let me look this up. Let's see if I can find it. Looking at a new third party.
Pasta. Do you know anything about the Marjorie Taylor Greene Tucker Carlson political party?
I heard about it. It's a new party they're going to start, whatnot. But I mean, when it comes to, I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm very happy where Marjorie Taylor Greene has gone and what she's saying. But I still don't trust her. And with Tucker, these people were wrong about so many things. And I do think it's just a sheep herding process, right? This is the new face of, if we just get rid of Israel, we can go back to being the good old American imperialist.
It reminds me of the Tea Party, dude.
Yeah.
It reminds me of the Tea Party.
Yeah, it'll just put people back into the Republicans. They'll give them one little
exactly.
cookie. But then the moment whoever's on the, like Jim Jordan, right? He was the chair of the thing of the House Intelligence Committee, I think, right?
Didn't that prick work for Sandusky?
Well, his whole career was like, we're gonna repeal FISA. Like, you can't, be a part of this unless you want to repeal FISA. And then the moment he has an actual seat of political power, he's like, no, I don't think we're doing that no more. So like, it's like the end of Animal Farm where the pigs just join the table and the smoke fills the room.
Pasta, what are you doing?
Yes, sir. Do we have a caller or no?
No caller.
Yeah. What do we got? What are we going to do? What are we going to talk about? We got 45 minutes to go.
I did see that Amazon has enough satellite models now to start launching a Starlink alternative.
Yeah.
I wonder what that's going to be used for.
An alternative from the same company?
No, that's Amazon. No, it's it's Amazon. Starlink is fucking SpaceX shit.
Well, what do they have that's classified, right? So Elon Musk has Starlink, and his classified version of it's called Blackjack, which is the like weapons platform version of it for the military.
Yeah,
so,
I'm sure Amazon's gonna have something similar.
Oh yeah, well they run the classified servers, right? Like most government servers are on Amazon right now.
Actually, a lot of them are on Azure too, on Microsoft shit.
On what?
Microsoft Azure, Microsoft's cloud shit. So Microsoft definitely has more contracts than Amazon, for sure. They have a giant cloud too, and Microsoft loves the government. That's where they get a lot of their money.
That makes sense.
Yeah, and it's all shit software.
And
it's all got backdoors, and it's just
like how tied in Epstein was with Bill Gates. Like
and MIT in general, MIT too.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's all kinds of shady shit, man. Including in some like programming circles, some old school ones. So it's like a lot of shady shit that came out of MIT, man. A lot of shady, weird people.
Yeah. It's beautiful out today. I don't know what y'all are doing. Andrew, I don't know if you heard the whole week. I've been talking about all these mangoes I've been getting. and
Okay.
I made a mango barbecue sauce. So we had mango barbecue chicken wings, and I'm going to a party this Saturday. There's an anarcho-communist that's going to be at the party, and I'm like, cool. The only anarcho-communist I've ever known was Fiorella. I haven't met many anarcho-communists out there, and she's going to be at the party, and I'm going to be bringing smoked fish dip that I got from my friend from Florida, fishing friends, and
So are the anarcho-communists like, we want to go and form an Amish style commune free of government? Or are they we need to have an entire global government first and then we'll dissolve it? Because there's two sides of anarcho-communism. There's like the people that like just want to be anarcho-communists, and then there's the people that want everyone else to be forced into anarcho-communism by creating a global totalitarian state that then dissolves itself after society is
yeah, because that's gonna fucking happen,
right? Because that's the two sides of the coin, right? Is like the people that want to build a commune, and then the people that want to run your life and then call themselves anarcho-communists.
Yeah. I don't know what those I don't know what those anarcho-communists want and stuff, you know. Yeah. No, but I mean, the marketing when it comes to the left is a big brother kind of mentality, right? Like we talk about the flock cameras, right? Like the marketing on the right is supposed to be Constitution, you know, civil liberties, smaller government, you know. Then and the left is always like, no, we need a strong central government, so you know they can kind of stand behind flock cameras as long as we catch, you know, they're not using it for the wrong reasons. It's like, you guys got to be principles. If the equipment is there to use, it's going to be used for the wrong reasons. You got to make sure they can't use it for the wrong reasons, you know. So the marketing from the left is big brother, but you know, their form of communism, I don't know if it's like involuntarinist, or you know, because you hear all the libertarians, as long as it's voluntary. Caller, who are you? Where are you calling from?
You there, caller? Where you calling from?
I'm here. This is Socialist Tokes.
Socialist Tokes rolls out of bed after a toke comes in and starts getting all the attention. What's up, big dog?
Give me 1 minute. I'm sorry.
I figured I'd call in because I owe it. I owe it to you guys because I came late, and I'm sorry for coming late. I stayed up late last night, and it was a real treat to see you guys. And the first thing I scrolled on my phone, I said, okay, I'm jumping right in right now. Here we go. And then I realized what time it was, and I was like, oh, shit. Oh, man. So, sorry about that.
Yes. Yeah,
but I'll talk to you about something right now. I want to talk about libertarians and liberals and what they got in common that doesn't make any damn sense right now. Because this is something that's on my mind right now. They're both supposedly supposed to be, well, especially libertarians. Libertarians are like I just want to like shake them because I'm like, guys, you're right there. You're right there, but you don't understand how the system monopolizes, even though we write it in economics and business class and everything. The growth is the whole thing, and its goal is to monopolize, and people get paid behind the scenes, and the thing monopolizes. So, but otherwise, you're anti-war. You're all these things that are so spot on. You understand the institution about the police state and all that stuff. They get it, but they just don't understand why, how the system keeps growing. They're like, yeah, no. Capitalism's good, man. We got to stay the course, even though it's 200 years overdue. You know, so that's what's on my mind.
It is
my biggest issue is like the libertarian economic model requires us to trust businesses, and these motherfuckers are just as shady as the government. So that's my problem.
Yeah, my example of libertarianism economics is having a football game, taking out all the referees and think they can referee it themselves. It doesn't work that way. Somebody's going to gain the system,
exactly,
do what they're going to do. You have to have, and don't get me wrong, it is a quagmire to figure out how to do it properly. I do think the model of doing it through government, when you have real representation, when a society could hire and fire, vote out or vote in anybody to get the job done, the proper people, then you have a system where it's done inside of a courtroom rather than a boardroom. I think that is still a better system. However, I understand how it can get away. I do think that libertarians are misunderstood, though, Socialist Toast and Sleepy. they do want to remove the monster in the room. It's how they move forward, which is, you know what I'm saying? In other words, they want to remove the government and monopolies from taking place in libertarian economics, right? But their way of it moving forward on its own, like you organically, that's when I think they lose the plot.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that is it. But the only way to do it, you can't fight authoritarianism with a democracy. Even if there was a democracy, we don't have a democracy. But even if we did, you can't fight authoritarianism. So that's why you have to do a dictatorship with the proletariat and just get it across to the people that, hey, we all have the same ideas on a general principle. We just got to be principled about it and stop being fooled by all these distractions.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah,
but other than that, I do love libertarians. I'm like, guys, you guys are like the great, say everything. I love you guys. Like, you say everything great, and then they're just like, well, we gotta rock with capitalism, man. Yeah, free market's where it's at, man. I'm like, no, that's what's murdering people.
So
That's what's doing it. That's what's doing it.
I really think that's more of a terminology issue, right? Because you can, like, the Pirate Party has a really good way of presenting socialist and libertarian ideas that are popular to both socialists and libertarians at the same time. And it's the words that have become poison, right? Like, if you ask someone, hey, like, should you be able to secure your life independent of the central authority of the state? Most people are like, yeah, right? And that's like a tenet of free market capitalism, right? Is I want my life to not be tied to the military industrial complex and the machinations of these people that are horrible and evil, right? I want to be able to support my family with the work of my hands. And those same ideas are reflected in both, but we've just poisoned the wording, right? Because like Mark, or not Mark's, fucking Eugene Debs, his whole, like, one of his biggest points was gold is the currency of the working class. Like, if your currency is not backed by gold, then you work for nothing. You know what I mean? And that's a very libertarian idea, which is like currency has to have value so that way the working class can build it.
Yeah, I'm with that.
And I think
that makes sense.
The problem is we're trying to use ideas that would have worked in 1926 to solve problems in 2026 without updating how those ideas would come to fruition, right? Because, like,
without a doubt,
at the end of the day, a socialist and a libertarian, the big difference starts with the size that they perceive their family, right? Like, a libertarian, they want to take care of their wife, their kids, their autistic cousin, their grandma, right? They want to take care of those direct people. And a socialist, in a sense, sees their community, whatever scale it is, whether it's city, state, nation, or world, they see them as part of their human family and want policies and implementations that would benefit their view of what family is.
I remember the Bernie Sanders video that really took hold is that, and it was a socialist point of view, and they put some like Gandhi music behind him. He was saying it on I don't know if it was a town hall. He goes, but when we say there that children there is my child, then we are a, you know, when he does this thing, a better place. You know what I'm saying? But it's the mentality that if you say that child over there is also my child, and that is the mentality of a socialist and stuff. You know what I'm saying? You know,
right. That's what Barack Obama did with Trayvon Martin. He's like, I saw my son. Yeah. And it's like, Look, China's doing good, and we could do better.
Yeah.
That's what we got to ask ourselves. Can we? Huh?
The guy who killed Trayvon Martin. I'm so sorry. I'll let you go on.
That guy. Well, I live right down the. I actually live right there. That was Zimmerman.
Yeah.
That was Zimmerman, the guy that killed Trayvon.
Jail for murder. A cop told him. A dispatch cop said, "Do not follow him." He followed him.
Yeah.
A cop told him not to do it, and he did it anyways. He should have got charged for murder.
And he sold the gun for like $300,000 or something like that.
I know, that's so fucking disgusting.
Dude, it's so bad. So brutal, man.
Stokes, before I interrupted so rudely, you were making a point about socialists. Go ahead.
No, I just said we have an example in China, and we need to ask ourselves, can we do better? And I think anybody with an ego here would say, fuck yeah, we can. And I'm sorry for cursing, but
That's okay.
but we can, man. You know, and I believe like that's what we need, not just here in America, like everybody together, but I believe like, I know this sounds crazy, but like the whole globe, we need it together, because how do you get to fusion energy if everything is monopolized and everybody's just draining energy and stealing this and stealing that and fighting here and fighting there? You got to have world cooperation. So we got to start preaching that message and how to bridge that gap right there. That's it.
So like with China,
Thank you.
they have like you could say they have better technology than us at this point. Like they have faster moving trains, they have all of these things, and like the rate of speed, like the rate of travel inside a modern society is based on the amount of political dissidence that exists within that society, right? And like for an example, if we had bullet trains that could carry someone from just Cleveland to Chicago in 30 minutes, 45 minutes, right? What would the BLM protests have looked like, right? Like if you could go from Chicago to Washington D.C. in an hour and a half instead of a day and a half, what would these protests look like? So the reason that these other societies have advancing technology past us is because their ruling class in that area have less fear of resistance. So they can give them these technologies because they know people aren't going to use them to resist them. Does that make sense?
Right. Just, a more authoritarian society gets more rights taken away. A more prosperous society gets more rights given to them. It's like it's historically proven. That's true. I agree. Everything you're saying is spot on. Yeah, and crime goes away, right? Like crime and home, you take care of everybody and things take care of themselves. And that's how that's why the average communist is like, dude, you just got to have a vision for it, man. I know it's hard to see with all this violence and wars and the history in the rearview mirror with all the everything, but that's opportunity, man. That's what opportunity is, man. And if we really got, I don't understand why people ain't more up for this. It's like, this is why you were born, man.
Well,
You're here right now in this time.
Really quickly, the reason why they're not up for it, the propaganda and the marketing against it. I'd love to hear from both Andrew and Socialist Tokes on this, and then Jay Sleepy, if you want to jump on in, because I know a lot of people say the issue with socialism, communism is that there's too much centralized control. How do you square that circle? How do you push back against that? How do you market against that? How do you explain that? How do you justify that? But socialist,
I have a quick thing to add. So my whole issue with communism versus capitalism is all of these systems that have been in place in the past. There's always some greedy motherfuckers that ruin it. So you're not going to get rid of greed in humans. So like I like like the idea of socialism more than anything, but there's always some greedy motherfucker that ruins it for everybody. And that's all I really got to say on that.
I just would look at the production side of it, man. They built enough train to go around the whole world in like an eighth of another lap. So in just a short time. And I think the only people that are trying to fuck it up is America. It's the CIA. It's the MI6. It's the people that are on the Western world in the history. I mean, you could read it in Killing Hope by William Blum. He does a great track record of all the CIA coups and stuff, and you can just go through. I use it like a Bible, man. When I'm arguing with people, it just has country to country of what we did, and I'm just like, look, man, come on, we're guilty, dude. Own it, you know.
Well, we also
it's breaking out of that fog of everything, has to be this way. That's the only thing you guarantee by saying somebody's gonna always fuck it up is that it's gonna always fuck up. That's the only thing guaranteed.
I mean,
that's all I would say.
Yeah, and even like China was built by Henry Kissinger. Like the modern China that we know today, like this iteration of their like millennia old civilization is the product of American influence and America taking over their political class for a period of time, right? Like the only reason that all of these jobs left the US to China to begin with was because the US sent them to China as part of basically like a way to prototype an authoritarian state outside of the United States.
As soon as the computer started working, they did it. And it wasn't just China. It was all around the world. There was millions of jobs and our best jobs. And it's treasonous. It's treason. And that's what the focus should be. It should be simple, looking at that and saying, all right, guys, now I don't want anarchy. I like plan strategies. I like the idea of the 5-year plan. I'm not saying we talking too much about China right now. I'm saying we can do better. We're just in this fog, man. And as sucky as humans can be, we can be just as resilient. I've seen it. People bounce back, man. Watch people that get clean off of drugs. They become human superhumans. They start saving other people's lives and stuff. And that's just one person. We just need community, and we need people to know that people still care. And that will be contagious. And I do believe
I agree
that,
on,
and I believe
more
unfair conditions will happen. Yeah, man. It's and we need to stop, start looking into what everybody's saying instead of just attacking it. Libertarians talking, listen. Whoever's talking, listen. Let's hear them out. Who cares? Like you guys said, forget about the labels. We're humans. Let's talk to each other.
Hey, we can borrow ideas from all kinds of different ideologies.
You say we're humans.
Exactly. That's what I do with religion, man. I take certain good things from different religions, man, and I just use them all. I don't really look at this or that. I just do what I do.
I do that with economics. Like I try to take from the good and the bad of everything, and like that's my economic plan. It's a mixed economy. I think that when libertarians or conservatives hear you bag on capitalism, they think you're bagging on markets, right? You're not. There's markets in socialism.
No, hell no. Markets existed before capitalism. Yeah.
Yeah. In Nicaragua, the government, the centralized government had all these infrastructure plans, right? Like we're going to build roads, railroads, buses, the whole thing. We're going to modernize this country. We're going to be able to get people around. When they did that, all these markets started opening up. Right, like people from that were living in Bilwi in the Caribbean coast. It used to take 3 days to get there from the capital because you were going over dirt roads and all this other bullshit. They made it that you can get there in less than a day from one side of the country to the other side. And now you got guys on their motorcycles with a cooler with a bunch of fish or a product that they get from the ocean, and they drive it across. You know what I'm saying? And get it into the capital. And now you got a guy who's got a small Italian restaurant. Can I get spiny lobsters and have lobster ravioli? It's something beautiful about that, and I love markets. But libertarians and
markets are great.
They freak out when you say socialism because they think then it's going to be state control and markets are not going to exist.
Look, I'll say it again, and this is the last because I hate talking about China like they're I hate doing it, but their billionaires are decreasing. And ours are increasing, and we have to self-correct that shit. That's what we got to do. And however we got to get there, we got to get there.
Are they? That's what we're doing. Should have all of their assets seized and be shut down. I think Vanguard should have all of their assets seized and be shut down. But you say things like that, and people are like, "Oh, my retirement!" Like your retirement's already gone. Your currency is worth 10% of what it was when you put that money into it 50 years ago.
Right.
And that's
you're not seeing the whole picture, right?
We have to basically be preparing for with on the ground building and movement and ideology spreading.
Absolutely.
When the rate of inflation exceeds the rate of market growth to the point that you can make $1 million and you can't afford food. Right, because those are the ultimate conditions that created Nazi Germany and shit like that were objectively fucking terrible for the world. And America is heading there so quickly, and it's something that Ron Paul's pointed out for years. We can't tell you when it's going to happen, but I can tell you the outcome of these policies. I can tell you the end result.
Have you seen all the Hitler whitewashing going on? It's insane. All of a sudden Hitler was a hero.
Well, can we talk about that?
I'm like, guys,
can we talk about the Hitler shit?
I'm like, I'm like, what?
What is the
Please, somebody
whitewashing?
fill me in because I got like 3 friends that turned into Nazis, dude. And now I'm like, see you. I don't understand it. They're getting sucked in, but they all have childhood trauma. I'll say that. Those 3 friends that got sucked in, they all have certain traumas that happened to them as children. Yeah. And there is a pattern with that.
I think that since we have Andrew here, we should take advantage of it since he knows history well. And
I can't hear you, Pasta.
What's that?
I couldn't hear you. You're too far away.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
No, I say, well, the Hitler whitewashing. I think it's we should have a conversation about that since we have you here and you're so good at history and stuff. And we did play a couple weeks ago that speech from Charlie Chaplin and Hitler, and it was called what was it called, that speech? But you had said at one point towards the end that Hitler was speaking out against the technocrats of sorts and the banking and that industry and whatnot. And then things kind of went awry. Like, after we had those conversations, we listened to those speeches. I keep scratching my head like, why the fuck did he try to go into Russia? Like, why would he do that? Like, why would he fuck himself so over when he was like, okay, like the Soviet Union had unplugged from the global capitalist system. Why would you attack the globalist capitalist system that you say you were pushing back against and go into fucking Russia? I mean, are you that desperate for those resources? But that, once again, that goes against everything he was speaking for him to go into Russia. Does it not, Andrew? Can you provide a little clarity?
He went into Russia because defending Mussolini's failed campaigns, where Mussolini was trying to go to war with Greece completely independent of everyone and then just got fucking whooped. Hitler literally had to use all of his resources to go and defend Mussolini because Mussolini fucked up. And the only reason Hitler went into the Soviet Union is because he needed to secure the oil to continue his mechanized campaign. Like, it wasn't for an ideological reason. It wasn't for anything like that. And he didn't have an ideology. At the end of the day, he had no ideology. His ideology was power and war, right? Which is an ideology, but it was him trying to say, like, I'm going to join these people. It wasn't him saying, I'm going to resist them.
Yeah.
Right. Well, because as soon as didn't he write in Mein Kampf?
He just wanted a seat at the table.
Didn't he write? He wrote a book, Mein Kampf, and he basically said, like, how he modeled his genocide of the East on the genocide of the West, America's genocide of the West. And he also said, like, something like about the African slavery policy. He was like, he liked it, and something along this name. I'm paraphrasing all that. I'm butchering it, but it's in that book. And he talks about us as an Anglo-Saxon and stuff. And I mean, it's right there. And he says some pretty brutal stuff. And then he killed disabled people too. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I'm just thinking, like, what is this? And I think it's a flip, obviously, because there's a lot of things you can say about Stalin that were terrible, but those famines used to happen all the time. But the famine that he did in Holodomor, I'll even if you want to put all the weight on his plate and not talk about the kulaks killing the cattle or how much that had to do with anything. Even if you want to say it was just all Stalin's fault, there were famines happening all the time.
Yeah.
And he put a stop to it.
Famine, the Great Famine in the late 1800s.
Right.
One of the biggest beefs against Nicholas the Tsar was not even that he was a brutal leader, but the fact that his agricultural policies did not help the country grow and modernize, and he wouldn't let a lot of farmers have the land. I mean, he really was they were the cause of those famines all beforehand, and now put them on Stalin. That was a Charlie Kirk thing. He would put all the famines on Stalin. You know what I'm saying? And
so without getting into the details, what I'm saying is, so we just flipped that, right? Because that's the socialist communist thing we don't want nobody acknowledging. And now they're obviously trying to stoke a civil war or some sort of shit to take the eyes off the Epstein regime and all these other foul stuff they're doing, the bombing in the knob and all these things. I mean, name one, just throw a dart and you'll hit one. It's to take the eyes. It's to flip. They're just flipping. They're doing a site. Informational warfare is a real thing, and that's what they're doing. And that's what Israel was just talking about the other day, how they're losing the propaganda war, and they're going to do something about it. And here you go. Now people's brains are being fried with just all sorts of stuff. I mean, there's no story that you can't find 11 ways. It's just what it is right now. We have to acknowledge that to some degree, whether something's true or not.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Bad joke.
No, I'm done.
Socialist campaign, and that's the part of the flock thing that makes me so nervous at the same time that makes me so excited, because it like there is something happening behind the scenes with this flock stuff that we don't know about, because someone like me doesn't get any traction on Twitter at all, ever. For the history of Twitter, of my time on Twitter, my account goes back to 2018. I've never gotten this many things. Like, I think the most impressions I ever got or something like that was like 1,000 likes when I said like people should say thank you to people or some shit, like on an old post. Like, even through all the Assange movement, all of the protests, everything that we've organized together. But now all of a sudden the gates are allowed to be open for us to say, hey, let's burn down the flock stuff, which people do respond to. But if 90% of the internet is bots, we either have 100% of the internet on our side that's actual people, or we have a massive influence operation that's trying to see who is willing to resist.
Right. That's a good, well said.
Socialist toast.
Again, that's not to like talk crap about the people that have worked so hard to make flock an issue, because there are tons of people that, like, I know personally, that are part of the Independent Media Alliance that have built this like anti-flock movement. You know, I just feel like there's something else there that is like lurking, waiting for us, you know, like the bait and the trap.
Yeah. So, Socialist Tokes, do you have a name you want us to call us, or we just wanted us to call you Socialist Tokes?
Well, I'm Corey. You can call me Corey. Or Socialist Tokes is pretty freaking long, right? Just call me Corey.
No, I mean, I just feel so personal now that you've called that, like, it's only appropriate. We know you by your first name, Corey. You know what I'm saying? Since
well, brother, I've been following you a while, Pasta, man. I actually was at not this Rage Against the War Machine, but the last one a while
the original
ago in
one.
Washington. I drove all the way up from Orlando. Yeah, I watched you there. I check into your show, man, all the time before, and now I'm checking into this one. So as soon as I found it, I think this is a lovely idea, man. I think this is a great idea.
It's people like yourself who made the trip. It's kind of funny because, Josh Sleepy J is the engineer / co-host of this show and stuff. But the other guy that does a lot of my stuff now, who works with the Truth Wire and some of the other shows we have, his name is Jamie Theisel. And he came out to Rage Against the War Machine. It's where I met him. It's where I met Matt Weinglass for the first time. And, it's just one of those things that when you meet people in this kind of field, it's different. Like, you have this kind of mental connection. You have this kind of like camaraderie where you could talk about things. You're all about, you do this work because you want to make this place a better place, this world a better place. So what better way than having a show to kind of give a voice to the people that have kind of supported me, hung out with me, lifted me up, pushed me forward and stuff. What better way than have a show where we can get their opinions, their voices out here. So you calling in today, Corey, is kind of fucking cool. And I hope that you continue to call in. And I always see your name. You're old school. You've been around for a while. And it's kind of nice to put a name to a voice, Corey. Thank you so much.
Hey, man, brother. Appreciate you.
Definitely. Be a regular. Call on in. We got a lot of great things to say.
Yeah, man. I love you're smart as fuck.
Oh,
like,
you're
right.
I listen at work. Sorry about that. Go ahead, bud.
No, I was just gonna say you're right on target, man. Like, you're, Like,
well, you're okay. Hey, you're all right. I don't know.
Hey, bro, it's fluid. You got to be fluid. You got to be fluid because you got to be in this game today. You got to be able to go forward and backwards and read information without emotion. You got to be able to just navigate it like an adult. And that's what people are missing, man. They don't believe in themselves anymore. They're alienated. They're separated from their products. They're separated from their families. They don't know how to. They're losing everything. Everything's unraveling.
So it's only natural that they become easier to control, and that's where we're at. So we're going to reverse that. We're going to put that out and people build if we have to through love, man, and just understanding and unconditional empathy.
Yeah.
The term I want to leave you with, Corey, to describe what you just said is organized loneliness. Organized
That's
loneliness.
good.
That is the you just said the definition, you know?
Yeah.
By the way,
it.
Corey,
I like it.
usually I would say you're the caller of the day. We'll send you out a free toaster. Bill is asking for a toaster for giving Rasputin his nickname. We're out of toasters because of, unfortunately, from the what do you call those things that Donald Trump did?
It's the rare earths. We don't have enough rare earths for the toaster.
No, it's not the rare earths. It's the what did he put? When you put like a tax on stuff?
Tariffs.
Tariffs.
You mean
the
no
Island that got
tariffs.
toaster for the toaster?
No toasters because of the tariffs. Blame Donald Trump. We ain't got toasters, man. He tariffed my fucking toaster.
Well, this show is a toaster, baby. It's hot. It's hot.
Socialist
That's
toast,
it.
ladies and gentlemen. We love you, Corey.
Love you too, brother. Y'all have a good one.
Great.
You too, buddy.
This show is awesome at times. I'm sorry, I was getting like emergency texts and stuff just from
You're fine.
people. I have to babysit my mom on top of everything too, as well. I'm moving into a spot where my sister and I will, and her son will all be living together and stuff, and it'll be a lot better for help with mom and stuff. So I won't be distracted as much here and there. So I do apologize if it looked like I zoned out for a while, but that's why I have you handsome people here to fill in the blanks when I'm doing that stuff, you know.
Yeah, hey, we all got emergencies. We all got family. I think it's cool that you're like building in like that with your family, you know? Like, I think multi-generational housing is how human society developed.
Yeah.
You know?
It's still like that in most of the damn world, so...
The whole idea of like you have to leave at 18 and you can't talk to your parents unless it's on a holiday, like that's a whole new mentality.
No, we don't need to. We do it. Most countries, you take care of your old people. You don't send them into fucking homes. Like you only send them into a home type of situation. If it's
There's no nurse. There's not many nursing homes in Latin America and in South and
no,
Central America.
And that's like for serious like medical shit. You know that the family can't deal with at home.
But it's also two socialist programs that allow you to stay at home and take care of that because you do have help with your Medicare. Yeah. You have help with the healthcare from the state. And it's not the state that's helping you. It's a collective tax being used for the benefit of society. And socialist folks would love this shit, right? So it's, you know, and at this point right now, even though our healthcare system is a sick care system, I would still rather have a universal shit care system than no system at all, because there's people out there that need the bottom basic line stuff. There are people who need insulin, they need medications. And I get that, you know, the system as a whole sucks. But, you know, it is really bad when people fucking go bankrupt because of their healthcare bills, or they can't afford to get these things and they're taking less pills and less medications because of it. So, you know,
that's why I took care of my grandmother for like 6 years, man. Like I didn't want her going into a fucking home, man. I wanted her to enjoy her last years.
Yeah.
Like
same thing with my mom.
Fucking house, man.
Same thing with my mom. And the thing is, I love my sister and I love my family and stuff, but when my mom's whenever she goes to that spirit in the sky, I'm gone. I'm out of this fucking country and out. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have to come down south to come see me. Practice your Spanish. Roll your R's, motherfucker. Because you're gonna have to fight if you want to.
La chancla. I know how to la chancla with the best of them.
Yelling from a distance, I can hear my mom screaming. She's having breakfast right now and stuff. So, yeah. The thing is that my mom is eating good, so that's the good thing. That's the key too. Like when older people stop eating, that's when you fucking get nervous.
Yeah.
That's when my dad stopped eating. That was the beginning of the end, right? It's just, I'm staying in town. I'm staying in Florida. I'm just moving around the corner. Caller, who are you? Where are you calling from?
Hold on. It's Jay again.
It's Jay Johnson?
Yeah.
Hey, brother.
What's going on?
So, this is Jay again, man.
Circling the wagons.
Yes, sir. So, just wanted to throw something out real quick. In the chat, Anna Waring shared something. Hold on. Sorry, I'm getting let me get this audio down. Sorry about that. So, Anna shared something. Anna
and a wearing walled.
And a ring
Anyway, so she was sharing, yeah, she was sharing about food emergency that Donald Trump hosted, and I asked her to share a link because I couldn't find anything that wasn't their party. So she said that Fox is not sharing the link anymore. I'm just sharing this real quick with the group because just in case this is a test message for something that they're going to deploy later that they have a strategy for. I just wanted you guys to be aware of it because I was like, oh shit, is this something coming? So anyway, just a heads up. Love you guys. Take it easy.
The tariffs on thank you so much, Jay. The tariffs on fertilizer don't mean anything right now. The problem is fertilizer is not getting out of the Strait of Hormuz. It's not traveling. It's still stuck in there. You know, and I don't know if that means anything for the United States as far as our food supplies, our unhealthy, disgusting food supplies, anyways. You know, but it definitely.
I mean, I've heard all kinds of farmers around here not planting, dude. So, because they can't afford the fertilizer, that's an issue.
You want to talk about
even if we have the fertilizer, just like any other oil product, it's the price is tied to the global market. So when it's expensive everywhere else, which it is right now, you know, a lot of farmers they're gonna be underwater if they plant. So it's not looking great, man. They need to wrap this shit up.
They're not going to though.
I know.
The thing is the need to empty out the armament, like in other words, to make sure that we got to get rid of all the weapons.
Got to get them contracts going for new weapons.
That's the whole thing when people go, we're just fighting Israel's war. It's like, no. Lockheed Martin.
They do this every 10 years, dude.
The American stockholder. And it's like they take turns. Like the big pharmacy, they got all their fucking money in their fucking tank. Now it's military industrial complex's turns. Who comes next? What other big group fucking gets their turn fucking next to go fucking pillage and purge from the fucking American people? They're emptying out the weapon shed so they can get contracts to put new weapons in there. You got a $1.5 trillion fucking Pentagon budget over there going on.
I mean, on the plus side, like, we do it the most expensive, inefficient way possible, so we can't create that many a year. And, man, all these wars we've been doing the last 4 years have not been great on our stocks.
I know everybody,
especially standoff weapons. We have a shitload of dumb bombs and stuff, but you have to be able to fly into those countries without getting shot down to deploy those. So the stuff we can deploy from afar, it's not looking great on how many we have. We need to
Pharma just had their thing. He's saying Pharma's next. What do you mean Pharma had their fucking take? Holy shit! How many billionaires were created during the COVID fucking era? No,
too many.
Pharma went military, and remember what ended COVID? Putin in Ukraine.
Joe Rogan ended COVID.
Vladimir Putin ended COVID because he invaded Ukraine, and they went to talking about Ukraine, and that talked about the military expeditions from NATO funding Ukraine, and then it spun into all these other wars, and here's Donald Trump picking up where Joe Biden left off. Like I said, it's just one. So Pharma already had their take. Military-industrial complex has their takes. When the Democrats come back in, what big industry is going to have their take? Is it going to be a drill fucking craziness from the oil companies, and because we have to replenish everything? I mean, what is going to be next is the question.
AI.
I don't know. I know we're the ones that are going to get fucked. I know that much.
AI. I would just say grow your own food. You know, if you don't have anything planted, plant it wherever you can. Get a bunch of dirt and some buckets and grow potatoes on your balcony.
I heard about that. There's a guy out there, a friend of mine, who used to say, grow your own food, make your own bullets.
Mm-hmm.
It's not bad advice.
I still don't even barely know how to shoot a gun. Shit.
Oh, I'm a hell of a shot, but I don't own guns. So no guns for me, but I'm a hell of a shot.
I can shoot a Meisterbrow can from fucking 10 feet away like nobody's business.
Man, I think I first shot a gun when I was like, I don't know, 6 or 7.
Yeah.
Like I was raised with guns, man. Like they were real big in my family. So. I knew how to shoot a gun at a real young age.
I was raised with knives. Yeah, knives to cut fucking steaks and sausage and vegetables and stuff.
My mom had that stuff too.
I'm good
at guns.
I've been making mango cheesecakes, Andrew, and like I told you, the mango barbecue sauce, and man, there's so many mangoes out here. It's kind of funny because everybody talks about the iguanas out here. They're an invasive species. But the reason why they thrive and they survive, as long as they're not a winter where it doesn't kill them off. The harsh winters come like every 5 years here in Florida, and it kills off a decent amount, but there's still enough to repopulate. And the mango trees alone, right? The mango trees alone keep these fucking iguanas fucking thriving, you know? And you'll see it. Like, if you go into somebody's backyard, my friend's backyard, he's got 2 mango trees. There's one male that holds down the one mango tree on the left. There's one male that holds down the mango tree on the right. And they're the dominant fucking iguanas. So the other iguanas go elsewhere and stuff. But they fucking get territorial, and that's their food supply. You know what I'm saying? So every once in a while, they'll lure a female lizard by, right? With, you know, their orangeness and their brightness and their mangoes. They're like, look at my mangoes. My skin color is orange mango. A female will come by. He'll share in the fruits of labor. He'll knock her up, and there you go.
So your new mating strategy is to carry mangoes.
Fucking mangoes. Go get your own mango tree.
I like it. I like it. I see where you're going with that.
The story of the Florida iguana. Andrew, let everybody know where they can find you, what you got going on. Thank you for coming in and holding it down. As always, I love you, brother.
You can find me on Twitter at Andrew Zigman, the same thing that's in like the doobly doo right here. I just put up a new link to posters for flock cameras. If you're interested in doing that, I got 9 of them.
Dude, can you send us some pictures so we can put it up?
Yeah. I mean,
hold them up, show them up. I mean, you have to take your blur off or whatever. But also, would you put them in the action? I'd love to see pictures of them too.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're hiding evidence or not. You don't want to incriminate yourself, or?
Oh no. The plan is like so. It's the T-Rex theory, right? Like if you've ever seen Jurassic Park, where the dude gets out of the truck and he's like, "Hey," you know. Like we need a whole bunch of people to get out of the truck to have like the CIA T-Rex chase them to lure them away from the general population. You know what I mean?
I would rather use the movie. What was that movie when you got to be silent because the beast can hear you and stuff?
Alien?
No. You have to be quiet because the monsters that have been dropped.
I didn't see it. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, they don't make a sound. They can hear you. Jeff Krasinski was in the first one. Was it Jim Krasinski, the guy from The Office? You don't know the movie I'm talking about? You got to be silent because they can hear you. The beast can hear you. They made a prequel in New York when the aliens got dropped off. But there was one scene. Jeff Krasinski tells his family, he goes, "I love you," because he knows he's gonna die. He goes, "I'm so proud of you." And the monster hears noise, so he jumps out of the car and screams. So the monster takes him, and his kids get to live.
And the other thing I'd like to compare it to is like Will Smith's After Earth, right? I don't know if anybody saw that, but they can't hurt you if you're not afraid of them. You know what I mean? Like
say it again. I interrupted you.
They can't hurt you if you're not afraid of them. Like that was the whole.
One, yes, I know that movie, the Earth movie. Yeah, what's the name of that movie?
With Will Smith. Yeah.
Was it called Modern Day Earth or something?
After Earth.
After Earth. Yes. Yeah. Yes. They can't hurt you. They can't hurt you if you're not afraid. I love it.
They can't even see you if you're not afraid of them. You know, like that's how deep it goes.
Andrew Zigman, thank you so much.
I appreciate it, y'all.
Maestro, you have that music?
I'm working.
I'll let you go first, and you let me know when to go there, Sleepy J.
You should be good. Oh, hold on.
Mother fudger.
Try it again. I think it's when you get... There you go.
As we wrap up today's show, let's take a moment to reflect on the importance of diversity of thought and the peace we can cultivate with our neighbors. In a world that often feels divided, it's our differences that can actually bring us together. Every unique perspective, every story shared enriches our collective experience and fosters understanding. Remember, it's okay to disagree. It's how we handle those disagreements that truly matters. Let's embrace dialogue over debate, passion over conflict. When we listen to one another, we open the door to meaningful relationships. By engaging in our diverse communities, we can find common ground and build bridges that promote peace. So I encourage you to reach out to someone with a different viewpoint. Share a meal, have a conversation, or simply listen. Let's create a ripple effect of kindness and understanding in our neighborhoods and beyond. Thank you for tuning in today. Remember, together we can celebrate our diversity and pave the way for a more brighter, more peaceful future. So until next time, keep the dialogue flowing and that peace growing. For Craig Pasta Jardula, Sleepy J, Andrew Zigman, and to all the lovely callers today, Jay Johnson twice, Snorky, Corey, Socialist Tokes. Who am I missing? Did we get everybody? We have one more caller. I forgot. If I forgot you out there, thank you to all the producers in the chat: Gabrielle, Freedom, Fred Edwards, Anna Ringwald, all you beautiful people. We thank you so much for joining in and participating. If I missed you, know that I know you're there. I love you and I appreciate you. And until next time, I love you all. Peace.